Babes, it's Jenni from ChronicBabe.com, and you're with me today for another AWAP Wednesday. If you're a newbie, AWAP stands for As Well As Possible, and in all things Chronic Babe, that's what I wish for you, that no matter how sick you are, that you do as well as possible every day, and I'm here to give you tons of resources to help you do that. So today I am super sick with a really generic acute head cold, and I look gross and I feel gross. So I thought it would be easier to just offer you some beautiful pictures to contemplate while we talk about what is a pretty deep question from a fellow chronic babe today. So without further ado, let's jump in. She asks, and it's a long question, so stay with me here. I guess, to put it as simply as I can, I'm being with these questions right now. I've been sick with ME/CFIDS long enough to know the thing is a dragon, and that it is my duty to protect everyone around me from its terrible flaming power of destruction and terror. But what if we, as chronic babes and as a broader society, could turn our understanding of illness on its head? What if illness could be good? Not that it doesn't change, ebb and flow like life, but if one believes life is essentially good and illness is a part of life, then is it possible that illness too is good? Is it possible to live this belief? Maybe I only need to believe in this possibility in order to keep working to make things as good as they can be, in order to give my life something it otherwise fundamentally lacks, which is purpose. I need to believe my life is not a waste or a list of losses. But as I study various spiritual tracks, and also the more I connect with my body as a friend and beautiful being that needs my care, I wonder if much of my existential pain comes from the outside world and my own ego. As I meditate, I keep finding myself momentarily at peace, believing in the beauty, the wonder, the strangeness, the joy of illness. The joy of illness, maybe it is not a sustainable joy, a lasting peace, but if it can be experienced in one moment, why not in the next? I would be so curious to know if any other chronic babes wonder about this. Because if we could live in the bliss of this radical truth, the positive nature of illness, it could change everything, couldn't it? Okay, wow. First of all, you can hear my gross cold. What a powerful question this person is asking. It is really, really powerful. It's something I've thought about a lot. It really goes to the heart of our experience of life. Do we choose to focus on the negative, or do we choose to focus on the positive? Over the years, I've caught a lot of flack from folks in our chronic illness community, especially advocates, who think that I look too positively at the chronic illness experience. People have said things like, Jenni, you ask people to look on the bright side, but there is no bright side. Or, Jenni, how can we spend any time on positives when there's so much negative and so many misunderstandings? When I first got sick, my feelings were like this. Illness sucked. It felt like a punishment, and it was something to fight, something to rage against. And everyone around me needed to get angry too. I wanted everybody to be riled up all the time, just like I was. But today, my perspective is radically different. I still think illness sucks, and I still think we need to rally those around us. And I'm not just talking about our personal support team, but all of society, to focus more energy on finding new treatment modalities and practices, as well as more acceptance and accommodations for those of us with limitations. But I think fighting illness, fighting it, is a losing battle, and I don't want to waste my energy on it. And staying angry is also a waste of precious energy, and a lot of us don't have much of that to go around. I have one chronic illness advocate friend who's angry all the time. Her social media presence, her emails, everything is all about fighting the good fight and inciting huge emotional reactions and getting people to sign petitions and making people pissed off. And I love her dearly, but I do not always love her methods. I wish that she would sometimes sprinkle in some of the positive learnings too, and not just focus on the negative, because I know in her own life that she has found positive things in her experience. But so often we believe that our outward-facing appearance and presentation needs to be the most powerful, and we equate anger and fury and fighting with power, and I think that that's not always right. This isn't because I'm a Pollyanna. It's not because I want us to live in denial. It's because I think there are things that are positive in life with chronic illness. So here are a few things I count in the positive column. The first is learning to practice acceptance. Before I got sick, I was always a fighter with a capital F. And after living with illness for many years, I've learned that fighting takes too much energy. It's not that I've given up. I mean, I still work as an advocate for myself and others, and I still get into heated conversations with people, but my just general energy around all of it is a lot more peaceful. I'm much more focused on outcomes that unite us and less on anger. And I feel a lot more comfortable in my own skin. Speaking of which, number two, learning to love myself as I am. When I was younger, I criticized my body to a ridiculous degree, and illness, when it showed up, only magnified that. Today, I feel much more peace with myself and all my little imperfections, which I don't even actually think of as imperfections. They're just part of me. The third thing is crafting a work life that I love. You know, I worked in corporate America and had desk jobs, and they were never a good fit for me, but I always tried to shoehorn my way in anyway. Because it's easier to manage my symptoms when I work from home, I've been able to craft a work life that makes more sense for me and is infinitely more enjoyable. The fourth thing is I get to enjoy this kick-ass community that I've helped build. I've made a bazillion friends through my 10 years of doing ChronicBabe, and I love seeing our community every day full and vibrant with generous, creative, inspirational folks. I mean, that is an amazing gift. And the last thing is shaping a spiritual life. And this really comes back to the question that our fellow Chronic Babe asks today. You know, my spiritual practices are grounded in Taoist and more than that, Buddhist philosophies and practices that allow me to see a balance of good and bad and easy and difficult, and to sit with that, not in anger or frustration, but in acceptance. Being sick has forced me to kind of slow down and walk the talk that I used to talk about when I was younger, and meditate and think clearly and calmly about things in a way that I didn't used to do. I love integrating that spiritual practice into my health practice and vice versa. I just mush it together in one big bowl of experience. Illness is not good, but it's not bad either. Categorizing illness as good or bad is, to me, way too simplistic. I don't think the question that the fellow Chronic Babe asks today is really meant to imply that it's black and white, but my experience is that many in our community view the issue as black and white. Chronic illness is bad. It makes life hard for us sickos and everyone around us. But chronic illness can also be good. It teaches us acceptance and creativity, and often unites us in friendships and other bonds we would not otherwise have experienced. It's about your perspective. Can you look at your experience not as black or white, but in shades of gray, or even better, as a rainbow of experience? Can you see it as a spectrum, not one thing or the other, but a possibility of so many different things? Can you make more of an effort to focus on the positive things and try to bring others along for the ride? Can you look to find some peace in acceptance? These are our challenges, my fellow Chronic Babes, and I believe that you are up to the challenge. It just takes a little practice every day. Okay, now it's your turn. I would love to know what you think. Is illness good or bad? Can you see any positive in being sick? What's your perspective? I would love to hear your thoughts. So join the conversation in the comments below and share your experience. And if you want to watch more videos like this, check out our AWAP Wednesday video playlist, which has about 6 hours of guidance, advice, and bloopers over at our YouTube channel. Is there a question I can answer for you? Please add it in the comments below or shoot me an email. You can do that through the contact form at our website. I encourage you to sign up for our Chronic Babe newsletter. We send it out every week. It lets you know about videos like this, contests, guest posts, and I'm working on a book which I'm going to release soon. I don't want you to miss the news when I announce that, because I'm going to be running all kinds of fun promos and giveaways and things when I release the book. So sign up today at chronicbabe.com for our free weekly newsletter. All right, babes, thanks for tolerating my weird sounding, gross head cold voice today. Trust me, it's better this way. You're getting to look at beautiful pictures of Lake Michigan instead of my red and raw runny nose. Gross. I hope that until we meet again, that you are AWAP. Mwah.